So your specific person hasn't messaged you back yet? That's okay, because we're going to actually fix this in this video with a very simple and easy idea. And so yes, you don't have to just use this for texting. It could be calling, could be proposing, could be dating your specific person, whatever it is that you want. Act this idea out and you are going to receive it. And it's from A Course in Miracles. So if you've read that book, make sure to comment it down below or comment your thoughts on it. But in A Course in Miracles, they talk about this idea called the holy instant. So it's an instantaneous moment in which you are going to pick to be the person that you want to be. So it's basically like defining and choosing your state. And remember, you always have access to this. But think about this idea in relation to the law of assumption, right? If we are going to see something outside of us, we just have to choose to be in that state, and then we're going to see it reflect. So now you understand why the holy instant makes it so whatever we want at any point in time, at any moment of the day, is still our choice, and we can actually choose it. And so take a moment and just ask yourself, what moment or what state are you choosing right now? Is it a holy instant, or is it a sense of worry, or is it a sense of lack? Do we feel as if we have to do all of these crazy and wild things in order to be with our specific person? And so if that's the case, our mind is going to be set on trying to work really hard to get what we want, to try to put in a lot of effort to do all of these crazy things. But in essence, you don't need to do that. The holy instant is just a moment of peace. But I would actually say it can be anything that you desire. So it can be a state of communication. It can be a state of love. It can be a state of being chased or being pursued, or even something as simple as happiness or love or abundance. And when you make that choice, you'll see how your reality begins to immediately reflect it, because everything outside of you can't actually be any or have any separation between who you are. So you are constantly and always picking what state to be in, and this is causing your reality to actually show up in the way that it does. Think back to a day in which you just felt happy, maybe accidentally, maybe something really awesome happened, and maybe your specific person texted you. Think back to a day in which you felt that way. What happened, right? Everything seemingly worked out in your favor. Everything you did was easy. You didn't have to put in a lot of hard work. Everything just happened. Maybe you went to the grocery store and you got a really close parking spot, and then you went in and there's coupons for everything that you want to buy. And maybe you run into a friend that compliments how amazing you look, right? Everything kind of flows effortlessly and easily just from that state. And so we just want to remember that we always have this choice. It doesn't matter what has happened or what is occurring outside of you. It's actually just a choice for you to be the person that you want to be. And in A Course in Miracles, they also describe it this way, and I think this is really important. Who you feel you are right now is actually just based on your past. That's the reason in which we have the ability to choose the state we want, but then don't actively choose it all the time, because we feel there is a past that is impacting us. We feel that we are a specific type of person because that's how it's been. Think of even your specific person and the assumptions that you might have on them. They're all related to the past, right? You assume them to be a certain type of way. Or I've seen a lot of people come to me describing their specific persons as avoidant because of the past. But think about that assumption. Think about the idea of labeling your specific person as avoidant. That is a holy instant that we're choosing, but not the holy instant that we actually want. And it just takes a moment to pick something new. You are constantly and always in control of your state, whether you think so or not. Think to your mind. Think to your state. Think of who you are, right? Name a time anything in your reality has actually ever impacted your actual state, right? It's just neurotransmitters, if you want to get really biological about it, in your mind, and it never actually interacts with anything outside of you. And so you're basically giving power to something outside of you if you are allowing it to change your mind. So when you're feeling down, when you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling worried, and you think, oh, it's because this thing outside of me is impacting me, it's not. You're just giving up your power. But take your power back. Remember, at each moment in time, you have the ability to choose what you want. In the same way, when we choose that our specific person is avoidant, and then we immediately see that outside of us, That's your holy instant that you're picking and thus creating as your reality. And if you think about it, there is no delay in that. Right? When you assume your specific person to be avoidant or anything negative, because usually our mind kind of at certain times wants to, or it makes much more sense when we think about negative things. Is there a delay between your assumption and what your specific person is? For example, what are you thinking of them right now? Whether it's positive or negative, it'll be an instantaneous reflection. It'll be exactly how they're showing up. And so if we want kind of return back to the beginning of this, and I know it's not, well, it's just a text message or whatever you're trying to manifest. In instance, if your specific person has not texted you back yet, it's literally due to this holy instant. It's this moment in time at this current moment, not tomorrow, not the next day, not in a couple hours, not in a couple minutes, not in a couple seconds. It's literally what you're choosing now. You only ever experience the now. And so if you're planning on choosing your specific person to be loving or desiring in an hour from now, that's not now, right? And when we think of the law, and we think of assumptions, it's always about what you're assuming right now, right? Nothing has ever showed up to you in any other way, shape, or form. And psychologically, you can kind of think of it as a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you are attempting whatever, basically, whatever you're assuming in this moment, again, not in the next moment, in this moment right here and right now, is exactly what you're seeing. And if you think about it, again, in the negative, it makes a lot of sense. And a really good example of someone using this idea of the holy instant right now is this individual who emailed me after our coaching about how crazy and wild it is that their reality started to change so fast. But everything is a reflection of who you are. So in the moment that they chose to assume something different, to imagine something different, not tomorrow, but today in this moment with their specific person, they went to a dog park and ran into their specific person, and their SP just started complimenting them, asked them out, was striking up conversation, seemed really interested in them, was pursuing them and texting them after the fact. And they were surprised at just how quick this occurred, and you can do the same exact thing. Your reality is literally just a reflection of our current assumptions. But we need to remember and keep in mind, and this is the first step in everything that we would do, that you're always picking your state, right? You are picking what you are feeling, whether you think so or not. And your whole life you've been this way. I wish I knew this information years and years ago, right? We fall into this illusion that our reality is somehow doing something to us, or that we have to react in a certain type of way, or other people are controlling us. But when someone comes up to you and says something negative or worrisome, or when someone questions you about your specific person and you feel it's negative, that doesn't actually have to impact you at all. That's on them. Because remember, when you label something as positive or negative, you're actually holding it within your own mind, right? It's kind of like a hot coal that you are holding. No one else is holding it. When you label something as positive, you are giving yourself positivity because you're holding that value. When you label something as negative, you are giving yourself negativity because you are holding that value. And if we can keep that in mind, again, I kind of jump back to the joke that if your specific person hasn't texted you yet, this is going to be that outcome. But texting is just a metaphor because it's kind of anything that you want. If you're not already with your specific person, this is going to be the thing that fixes it. But keep in mind, it's not in the next moment. It's not in an hour. It's not tomorrow. It's now. You are just assuming this state now. This is something that's happening in this moment, again, right now. You're not working yourself up to it because that's actually the whole process of time and manifestation. The only reason that you actually experience time is because you're working yourself up to be with your specific person or be the individual that's already with them. But you could just choose that to be, or choose to be that individual right now, and everything flows automatically. So try this out and let me know what you think, because again, it's right now. So what are you assuming now? So comment that down below. Not what you're assuming in an hour or a minute or a second. Now, what are you assuming on your specific person? Do they text you all the time? Are they someone who has been planning on reaching out for the past week and today they're going to do it? Are they someone who's been looking up engagement rings and going to send that to you? Because I actually had a coaching session where their SP was doing that, and it kind of came up their SP didn't explicitly say it, but it was kind of implied. And so this could be your reality too. We just have to change that assumption, but comment that down below. And as well, thank you so much for stopping by today. And yes, I'm back to doing my daily videos, or at least that's the plan for now. So hopefully you didn't miss me too much in these last few days, but I know I do post a lot of videos, so you probably might have not even noticed that I hadn't been posting. But make sure to keep me updated on exactly what's happening with your manifestation, because the more information you give me or send out or comment, the better videos I can make specifically for you. And so definitely keep me updated, because I want to root you along on your journey to being with your specific person, because it's so much easier than we could ever imagine. If you did have any questions or comments, again, and you didn't want to put them down below, you can also reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com. That's where you can reach me personally if you did want to send me something or an update that you just didn't want to post publicly, because I know sometimes people comment and think their SP is going to see it, but I would not worry about that. But if you are worried about that, or worried a question that you want to ask, there's no lame questions, right? Every single question that you're going to have on your mind is a question that everyone else can have. But if you don't want to post it publicly, definitely reach out to me, because I can absolutely help with that. So hopefully everything has been going fantastic with your manifestation. No, honestly, I would say it absolutely is fantastic. So the question is, are we going to see it or not? But as always, thank you so much for subscribing. Huge shout out to my members. Thank you so much for watching today. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video tomorrow.